Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. It is Monday, October 28th. I'm just a couple minutes behind because I was having some technical difficulties getting my Facebook Live to start, but it looks like Facebook's glitch has resolved and I'm good to go. Hey Karen, I see you popping in. Thanks for tuning in. So tonight we are going to make an easel card that folds down flat and then it just pops up on an angle. And we're going to do, well, I'm going to do a Halloween themed one. So I've got everything ready to go. I'm going to flip the camera around and mess around with my zoom. That probably won't work. Anyway, and then we'll get started. All right, let's give this a try. Okay. All right, so actually that's not too bad. Perfect. Almost perfect. So I will go through all our measurements and we have a little bit of scoring to do. So if you are crafting along, you will need your paper trimmer. And I am just making a couple adjustments so I can see what we're doing. All right, we're good to go. Okay, so I have taken out my scoring blade because I don't want to cut the paper. And we're going to use this to score this piece of cardstock. So I'm using Granny Apple Green. This is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I should have went through all the measurements. Anyway, I'll catch up to these other pieces. We'll just score this now. So Granny Apple Green, 4 1/4 by 11. On the 11-inch side, I am going to score it in half. So that is 5 1/2. And then I'm going to score it again at 6 3/4. All right, so now we have got our card like this. So it folds in half at the 5 1/2 score line. And then this 6 3/4 is going to be where it folds kind of like a book fold. But now we also need to score it from the 6 3/4 score line up to the top right edge of the card. So you're just going to line it up in your track. Hey Nancy, thanks for tuning in. Hello Sheila from North Idaho. All right, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but my score line is in the track. So that's the bottom score line at the 6 3/4 score line. And then my top right edge is in the track as well. So now I'm going to score this on the diagonal. So we've got 3 score lines, 5 1/2, 6 3/4, and then the score line that goes right through the middle of the card front from the 6 3/4 score line at the very bottom all the way to the top right. Hey Linda from Ohio, thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to get my paper trimmer out of the way. So for this card, I've got basic black. Now this is 4 by 1, so 4 inches by 1 inch. And then I've got some of the Halloween Spells Designer Series paper that is just 1/8 of an inch smaller on all sides. So that's 3 7/8 by 7/8. So I'm just going to glue this Designer Series paper down onto the basic black. And then we will, oops, I want to glue it on the green piece. And then we're just going to glue that down to the very left of the card. Hey, Rebecca from Coquitlam, thanks for tuning in. Another BC girl. Are you getting lots of rain in Coquitlam? Because we had really heavy rain in East Sauk last night. It sounded worse than when we had the atmospheric river. Was that last weekend already or the weekend before? I can't remember. Anyway, it was wet, put it that way. All our ponds are really full. Oh, Sheila is watching from the Atlantic on her way to Bermuda. I am jealous. That sounds lovely. Enjoy your vacation. All right, so now this piece that I just matted, I am gluing onto my card front in between that 5 1/2 score line and the 6 3/4 score line. And for those of you who have been watching, know that I've been struggling with my glue and I finally got it sorted out, but I ended up getting more glue anyway. So glue crisis has been solved. So now I need my tear and tape, and I actually have no idea where it is. That's unfortunate. I love tear and tape. Let me see. All right. Oh, it's right in front of me. Good Lord. There was one time I was doing a live and I could not find my take your pick tool, and it was literally to the right of me, and everybody else online could see it except for me. It was one of those days. So I'm just adding tear and tape to the inside of the card in between those score lines again, and I'm going to add, this is definitely tape overkill, but you'll see why. I want some tape in the middle as well. So sometimes I find that book folds don't stick together very well, especially when you add ribbon. So tear and tape is pretty powerful stuff. So I am using some lemon lime twist ribbon. This is retired, but it's the right color for this card. So I'm going to use it anyway. And I have more than enough spools of ribbon kicking around. And I thought I wanted it in the middle, but I'm changing my mind. So I'm just going to adjust the ribbon to that first line of tear and tape, and I'm going to put that on the left side of the card. I cut a little bit off, and then I'm just going to fold. Once I know that my ribbon is exactly where I want it, I'm going to fold my card over, and I'm just going to press down so that tear and tape sticks. All right, I am getting a little bit behind on comments. If I miss anybody's comments, I'm so sorry. I will go through and I'll read all the comments after, and I will say hello. But if I miss you, I apologize. So hello, Lynn from California, and Robin. Hey, buddy, I have your coupon book. It just came today. So if you don't have plans this weekend, maybe we can meet up for a coffee and a craft, and I'll bring you that coupon book. And Cami, hello from Vernon. Vernon is gorgeous. What a gorgeous place in BC. Okay, side of the card is almost done. I'm going to take just a little bit of my lemon lime ribbon. I'm going to slide it underneath my first piece. And then I could either tie a bow or I can just tie a knot. And I feel like I'm just going to tie a knot. And then I'm just going to trim the edges of this ribbon. I really like this lemon lime twist ribbon. It came in a 2-pack with petal pink. And honestly, I'm a little sad that they discontinued it. Okay, so this is basic black. It's 4 inches by 4 inches. Hello, Carol. You are not watching the replay. You are watching live. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, Gail, how's it going? So black, 4 inches by 4 inches, and then I've got another piece of the Halloween Spells Designer Series paper. It is just a smidge smaller, 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Now I should mention, if you like more border, then just cut your layers a 1/4 inch smaller. So if you wanted to see more black, cut your Designer Series paper to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you'll get more of a border. Totally up to you. I'm kind of on a skinny border kick these last few lives. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Kate. Hello from Fredericksburg. I don't know if I'm saying that right. You should keep me on mute if you're watching the Steelers game. That sounds like important things. Okay. Now I'm just going to map this. I really like this Granny Apple Green Designer Series paper with all the bubbles. I think that's so cute. And I didn't even know we had this Designer Series paper until I bought the Halloween Memory Scrapbooking Workshop, and it came with some of this paper, and I love it. If I would have known it existed, I would have bought it sooner. All right. Janine, I hope I'm saying that right, from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. Janine or Jenny, I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Hello, Joyce. Oh, Robin, good. I'll message you and we'll make a plan. So for this card front, we're going to add some glue to the bottom half of our diagonal score line. And this score line, we're actually going to fold it in, and that's how it pops up, kind of like a diamond shape. So we want the glue to be on the bottom triangle. And when I add glue to this, I'm going to keep about a 1/4 inch border from the sides and the score line, just so my glue doesn't leach out. I just need enough that's to glue down this layer. So I've done about a 1/4 inch away. I'm going to lay this piece on top, and then I'm just going to gently push down and hope I wasn't too heavy-handed with the glue, because I don't want the top half triangle to stick to the card front. So if I've done it right, it's going to pop up just like so. And I nailed it. All right, so last week I took about half an hour to go through the live, and I didn't want to do that to you guys again because, you know, it's Monday, it's a school night. Some of us work in the morning. I do. So I went ahead and I pre-stamped and colored a cauldron and bubbles from the Potion and Spells set. Now there's a die cut for the cauldron, but not for the bubbles. So I just fussy cut it out. I put a gazillion, about a gazillion dimensionals on the back of this, because I'm always dimensional heavy. All right, so this I'm going to stick right in the bottom corner of my card front. And then I also stamped out a sentiment, double, double, toil and trouble, and I just outlined it. I don't know if you can see that. I outlined it with a lemon lime twist Stampin' Blend. Whoops. And then I tore the paper to give it a really rough edge. So I've never done that before, but I thought it might be kind of fun for this Halloween themed card. So I'm going to just tuck that right in that top corner, and I will put some dimensionals on this as well. Not as many, but that's because I don't have as much room for, 100 dimensionals on the back of the sentiment piece. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? I think I can still do it. So I thought I would just add a little bit of color with the sponge dauber. I got some Granny Apple Green ink that's already in the lid of my pad. I'll show you how I did that as soon as I finish this. And I'm just going to add a very light layer of Granny Apple Green around the edge of the sentiment piece. All right, oops, that's noisy, sorry. All right, so I'm just brushing it on. You can use a blending brush for this as well, but I'm just using my sponge dauber because I literally thought of this as I was coming up to my craft room to do this live. And I grabbed it and thought, that'll be neat, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to tuck this in right in the top left of the card front, like so. And then this is probably old news, but how I get my ink on the inside so I can use it with a blending brush or a sponge dauber is when my ink pad is closed, I will gently squeeze the lid together with the back of the stamp pad, and you can see it inks up that inside piece. So that's super handy when you're using blending brushes or your sponge dauber or a water painter or whatever you need extra ink for. Okay, the front of the card is pretty much done. If I remember, I'll add some Wink Stella right at the end. For the inside, I've got a piece of basic white, and that is 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm just going to stamp a sentiment right in the middle in Granny Apple Green. And I have just a little sparkle stamp that I'll put in the corner as well. All right, So I'm going to glue this down to the inside of the card. And this, oops. All right, so right on the inside, like so. And then we need a little popped up piece right in our bottom right corner to hold up our easel card. So you can use, well, really anything that's small. So for this one, I just used a really small circle die cut. Hey, Tanya, the Canadian Stamper, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned because I'm going to talk about you in a minute. But for this project, I die cut out these little potion jars, these little potion jars, because I thought that kind of went well with the cauldron. And then the inside of the potion jars, I cut out with the festive glimmer paper. This one is Granny Apple Green, and I think this is Garden Green. So I have added dimensionals to the back of my little potion jars. And yeah, you guessed it, I stuffed as many dimensionals as I could on the back of this jars. And then I'm just adding that to the bottom right corner. So it's popped up just a smidge. And then when you fold your easel fold in, the edge of your card is just going to catch on that little popped up piece and it will sit up. So it's a really simple fun fold. I don't know why I don't do it as often as I should just make it more. That's what I should do. I should make it more. So the hardest part is just remembering when you score that diagonal piece that the bottom triangle is actually going to fold in. It's going to fold in, and there you go. So the last thing I want to do is add some Wink of Stella to the bubbles because that seems perfect, right? They're sparkly. And I'll show you in the camera, but I don't think you're going to see the sparkle, but I can see it. Trust me, it's there. Anyway, that's our card for tonight. I hope you guys like it, and I really hope you try it. Not everybody is a Halloween card maker, and that's okay. And I don't really have people to send Halloween cards to, but I'm just too tempted. So this was the sample I have already made with the, what is this called? Sweet Days of Autumn designer series paper, which I'm in love with. So that's it. And before I let you go, I have a few things to tell you about, and I also wanted to show you some things I made over the weekend. So I bought the Take a Bow die, and I've been using up all my scraps to make these beautiful paper bows. Isn't they're just so adorable. So they're really dense because Stampin' Up's paper is pretty dense. So I'm in love with this. I have so much paper, so much retired paper that is taking up space. I'm turning it all into bows for birthdays, for gifts, for Christmas, obviously. Yeah, my husband's thrilled because I never throw away bows that come on presents. So we literally have in our garage a whole bunch of giant size gift bags that are stuffed with bows because I just can't get rid of them. So he said if I'm going to start making bows, I have to get rid of the store-bought bows. So he's right, I will. And then on Saturday, I finally put together the Halloween Memories scrapbooking workshop. This was so easy. The hardest thing to do, honestly, for me was choosing which pictures. So I've already got permission from Kai and Mike to share these because this is Kai when he was little. This is me, obviously, much younger version of me because Kai's 13 now and he's just a baby. And then here he is on his little bike on Halloween night. And then this is my husband too. And this is shocking, but he actually gave me permission to share these photos on my Facebook Live, which is crazy. So they had in the set, there was six full-size layouts. So It took me most of the day, but it was really fun. And there's tons of cutting to do, but the instructions that come with it, which are right here, when I looked at this, I thought that's crazy. There's so much cutting, but it's so well laid out. It wasn't hard at all to follow along. So I cut all the paper and then I assembled all these sheets together. So it turns out I'm a scrapbooker. I'm not just a card maker. As of Saturday, I am a scrapbooker. So the next one I'm going to do is an autumn themed kit. I'm going to flip my camera around. All right, so you can get a view of my messy craft room. Actually, see, my spare bed has become my craft table. That's where I stuff all my stuff when I'm crafting. It's just right on the bed. All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. If I've missed some comments, I will go back and I'm going to read them all. I love it when you guys send me comments because, well, it's just nice. It's nice to chat. So, okay. I will be doing the reindeer fun card class at home for November. I have not designed it yet, but it is coming. I'm going to aim to have it posted on my page and on YouTube by mid-November. So it is free. Everybody can do this class. The measurements and supplies are going to be posted the same time as the class videos. So free for everybody to do. You just need to gather your supplies, cut your paper, and then just watch the videos and craft along. If you're my customer in Canada and you've shopped with me, those kits might be coming in the mail to you. So stay tuned for that. And Tanya, the Canadian stamper, and I are going to be collaborating again with a special card class at home with fun folds and possibly 3D projects. I'm not sure. I was supposed to talk to Tanya about it at work today and then I got sidetracked. So sorry, buddy. Let's chat tomorrow and decide what we're going to do. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be really exciting. We haven't ironed out the details, but I'm sure it'll be similar to our a little bit of festive workshop where there's some different options to join. So if you're in Canada, you can join and have the kits mailed out to you. But if you're in a different country and you'd really like to join, then there'll be a PDF tutorial and videos. Videos for sure, maybe not a PDF. I don't know. Well, I'll talk with Tanya and we'll have everything ironed out. And then lastly, I will be designing a class with the Reindeer Days Memories and More pack with just some basic white memories and more cards and envelopes. So that's coming soon. So there will be a PDF tutorial for that where it will give you at least 10 different ideas of what to do with these memory and more kits when you get them. So that'll be really fun. I think that's it. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you are catching the replay either on Facebook or YouTube, say hello, tell me where you're from. If you're watching on Facebook, I will post the measurements in a photo in the comments so you don't have to scratch down the measurements at the start of the video. And if you're on YouTube, the measurements will be listed in the description of the video. All right, that's it. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you all next Monday evening.